Hey guys, what is up? Thank you so much for coming to my Orphan Black live chat. If you are here in the room, go ahead and say hey so I can give you a shout out here on my channel. Hopefully you've had a chance to watch my video that I did Saturday night, which was my live reaction to this episode, and I wanted to do that because I knew some crazy stuff was going to happen, and it definitely did, and some very sad moments as well. So thank you for everyone who's watched that video and left me your comments. But now I would like to hear from you today what you thought about this episode. What do you think is going to happen for the next 2 episodes? And I'm really it's really so hard for me to believe that we just have 2 episodes left of this entire show series. There we go. Kelly, thank you so much for being here. What did you think about the episode this weekend? Let me know. But anyway, I definitely think some more stuff's going to go down. Some more deaths are going to happen. Hi, Lauren. Thank you for being here. Because we do have 2 episodes left. And the only sad, death in this episode was, of course, Mrs. S. The rest of the people, let's see, who else do we have? So we had Gracie and we had Ferdinand. I was happy that both of them died because even though Gracie was kind of sorry and kind of tried to go back on her plan to expose Helena at the last minute, she still wanted to go through with it at the beginning. So I don't feel very sorry for her that she died, but it was just really brutal the way that she was killed. I definitely still think that Westmoreland will be killed, hopefully by one of the clones. Hi, Ralph. Thank you so much for being here. And I'm kind of concerned that some other people may be killed, but honestly, this show has never really killed off any big people. I remember the only person I was really surprised about, I think, was Sarah's boyfriend. I was kind of shocked that he was killed. But in the past, they've never really shown us that they're the kind of show that's going to kill main people. Kind of, that's what I think. So I could also see it going out without losing any of the popular clones, because even though they killed Mrs. S, she's not a star of the show, and she's not, I don't think, as dramatic as a kill that they could do, but we'll see. Yes, I thought it was funny that you called, that Ralph called Gracie the Canadian Lindsay Lohan. I think Tatiana was talking about the girl who plays Gracie today on Twitter, or maybe it was yesterday, but she said that they were good friends. It was funny. Yeah, Rachel killing Westmoreland would be really good, Lauren. I think that would be perfect, absolutely perfect. And if you guys have been in the chat, and I think a lot of you have in the past, I believe Ralph said this in the chat, that he predicted that Mrs. S would die. So I think he predicted that a couple weeks ago. But I think when you were watching this episode, it was just very obvious to me that she was going to die. This episode, they made it very clear, leading up to her death, that it was going to happen. I think she definitely knew that it was going to happen and was kind of willing to sacrifice for everyone else. Lauren says Helena is going to escape next episode and probably give birth at the end. Yes, it definitely looked from the promo that she was looked like she was running around a church or something. She's gonna go crazy and freak out on people because that's what she does. And I really love that about her. I love Helena, and I'm ready to see her just be crazy and kill the people who need to be killed and pay those people back. Alex says the guy who plays Donnie tweeted that no one is safe in the last 2 episodes. So I personally, as much as I don't want some of our favorite clones to die, I think they should go there, and I think they should kill off one of these popular clones. And when I say one of the popular ones, I guess that would be, even though it's hard for me to say, Cosima or Helena or Allison or Sarah. And if I were to choose, I would think that they would kill Sarah. But we'll have to see how that plays out, because again, I could also see them not killing any of those clones. But I kind of wonder, someone commented on my video, I don't think they're in the live chat today, but somebody commented they thought that Art might be killed. And then I've seen some speculation about Felix being killed, which I don't want either one of those to die, but I don't know. Ralph says it's fitting Ferdinand killed Mrs. S due to the fact that he was the only one tough enough to take her out, and vice versa. Yes, but I'm so glad that she was also, even after she was shot, able to shoot and kill him, because he is just a total jerk. And as much as we've struggled, or I've struggled with Rachel and wanting to figure out if she's a good person, or wondering if we should feel bad for her, and sometimes I did and sometimes I didn't. I did kind of feel bad for her, because she was like, he's the only man who really loved me, talking about Ferdinand, and Ferdinand's just the worst person ever. And it was sad that she didn't feel like anyone of value had cared about her. Ralph says that Art's partner has to go. Definitely, that woman is like a snake, and I definitely see her dying. Plus, the Cody woman, she's just pure evil. She's got to go too. So I definitely think we'll have a lot of deaths from the people that we want to see die. So, but I just think it'll be kind of a toss-up whether they kill someone super popular. Again, I really don't see them killing Donnie, but I feel like if they killed someone like Art or Felix, like that would be very, very sad, and I don't really know why Felix would be killed, but you never know. Maybe they get caught in crossfire or something, but it's still not very bold of them to kill those people because it's not like, I don't know. You know, at this point we can do without everyone because the show's ending, but we'll see. No, I don't like Allison's new look, and I talked about this last week, but I don't know if you were here, Callie, but no, personally, when I saw her last week, I felt like it was a totally different clone, and I think she's just trying to express herself and, like, get rid of her drug and alcohol dependencies and become, like, a new version of herself, but I miss, you know, the way that she was, even though, I mean, it was unique, but I loved it, and I loved that character, and I loved how she dressed and everything. Ralph says, Rachel warned Mrs. S, so cool in your book. Very cool. And I think you commented on my video, like, it was cool of her to make sure Kira didn't go through any of that testing and to give her back to Mrs. S and her mom, but it was cooler for her to warn Mrs. S because, you know, it's easy to feel sympathy for a child, and she could definitely relate to Kira because she'd gone through, like, the same thing, but she didn't really owe Mrs. S anything, and she did that for her, so I think that that was very cool as well. LaRon loved Felix's art show, especially his tribute to Beth. Yes, it was very cool, and I didn't go much in detail about my thoughts on that in my reaction show because I was pretty much focusing on everyone who died and all of the kind of bad stuff, actually. But I did think it was so cool. The artwork was just incredible, and it was special. The whole episode was very special as far as, like, Sarah and Felix talking about how they felt about their mom for, like, saving them, Mrs. S, and just the really special art show. Everything was really great about that, and that was, like, the, you know, I think it's nice that they had an episode where they had to kill people off, but they also had, like, a softer side and a special side to it, so it wasn't just, like, a bunch of murders and terrible things, and that was it. So you know, I don't know what's going to happen with Allison. I don't know if we're going to end the series with her being this new Allison or if she'll go back to the way that we used to see her dress and her old hair and stuff. But, you know, I kind of think she won't go back because we just have 2 episodes left, and I just think that's kind of her way and, like, the message to viewers that she's not going to be dependent on substances and she's, like, getting her life together. And I'm hoping, like, the finale, I don't know if there'll be, like, a lot of craziness in the finale or if they'll do all of that next week, but I definitely hope that we'll have, like, all of the clones together and kind of have some, like, special, like, goodbye time with the cast, you know, instead of it being just, like, carnage and terrible stuff. I kind of feel like they'll go that way rather than just, like, terrible stuff. I think if we have more terrible stuff, like, it's going to happen next week is what I'm trying to say. Ralph says that Felix also painted Mrs. S, and I didn't see that. Like, I don't know, I was, you know, sometimes when I watch it on my TV, which is not super close, like, I don't get as much detail as when I watch on my laptop, which helps because you can pause things. Well, you can pause things with your TV, but I'm always, like, pausing on my laptop, but I don't do that on TV usually. Callie says maybe we'll have a mix between the old and new Allison. Yeah, I definitely think that's possible as well. Alex says, do we find out why Susan raised a Castor clone? Do I think Virginia raised a Lita clone? Yeah, I mean, that's a definite possibility, but I don't remember finding out why Susan raised a Castor clone. Does anyone else remember that? Ralph wants a finale clone club dance party. I would absolutely be down for that because it would be so cool to have Crystal come back again. And honestly, I keep thinking we'll see Tony in some little role. I definitely don't think Tony needs, like, his old episode like Crystal had, but just to have him back, like, in the dance party, if we have a dance party, would be cool because I thought Tony was a cool element for one of the clones. And we haven't seen him very much, and it's been a long time since we have. But I I would like for him to come back. I just want to give a plug, and this is not sponsored anyway, for a new show that started on HBO. Since you guys, we all kind of like the same shows. I did a video on it, but probably if you haven't watched the show, you didn't watch the video because it would definitely spoil you. But if you have HBO or access to HBO Go, this new show called Room 104 premiered last Friday, and I'll be covering all of those episodes, and I'm just very, like, excited about it. No one has asked me to do these videos outside of some of you guys, but actually I'm thinking about, if anyone wants to come, I'm going to do a 6 o'clock live show, 6 o'clock live chat today about Room 04, about episode 1, which is called Ralphie, but each episode is totally different from the other, so it's kind of like a Twilight Zone, kind of like a Black Mirror, but they're really short. They're supposed to be like 30 minutes, and the first one was like 20-something minutes, but I really enjoyed it, and if you're looking for something that's easy to watch, and that's kind of in the same genre as everything else that I watch, and you guys watch, I would suggest checking it out, because I checked it out because a couple of you guys asked me to watch it, and I really, really loved it, and am totally on board with it, and we'll be doing videos all season. And if you have HBO, it's something very easy for you to watch, because you don't have to, like, catch up on anything. Every episode's different, so if you don't want to watch every week, you're not going to be behind, or if you can't. But anyway, yes, Ralph says Mrs. S's pick was in front of Sarah when she was up on stage. Oh, it was from the ceiling. Okay. I could go back. I still have that, so I can go back and watch it. Lauren says Room 104 was a little creepy. You caught it late Saturday night. I watched it like pretty late Friday night, and I definitely was thinking about it when I went to bed, and I was like, it's on pretty late anyway. I think it's on at 2:30 or 10:30 p.m. on Fridays. So, like, I was pretty creeped out with it, and it's on late probably for a reason, to creep people out. But anyway, I just want to let you guys know, because if you saw the video title, you probably were like, I don't know what that is, if you haven't watched the show, and you probably didn't watch it. So this is my way to tell you to watch it. Callie says you were expecting beheadings in this episode because the title was Guillotines Decide. Thankfully, no. Thankfully, we didn't have that, although it seems like I've watched several shows where someone's beheaded, you know, not necessarily in a guillotine. I don't know if I've ever watched something recently that was guillotine style, but interesting, though. Lauren says that Room 104 is kind of like American Horror Story. Yeah, it is kind of like that in a way as well. Hi, Mr. Crazy. Thank you so much for being here. Hi, Debbie. Thank you for being here. Debbie is asking who will make tea now that Mrs. S is gone. And it's very sad, I know. And I think that she's a really good person. Do you remember when we used to think she was, like, not so good? Like, I remember there was, like, a season where they tried to make her look, like, suspicious. But I think it was because she knew what was going on all along with the clone situation. But she tried to like, play like she didn't know. So we finally found out she was, like, way more, like, badass than we ever had a clue. And then we figured out she was okay. But that was funny. I just thought about that. Ralph says Tales from the Crypt meets Pushing Daisies. I've never seen Pushing Daisies. I've heard of it. And Tales from the Crypt I feel like I haven't seen, but I totally remember that creepy little man. I think that was on HBO. The creepy, like, skeletal guy. Laurent says if Rachel doesn't kill Westmoreland, the girl with the cowbell probably will. That's a good point, because I think she's had enough, and she was kind of friends with his son, and I'm sure, you know, now that he killed his son and everything, she definitely wants her revenge, so that's a really good point. Debbie says, yes, like Mrs. S was sketchy at first. Yeah, like, I don't know. It was, for a while, I was like, she's definitely, we can't do, you know, I think she's like, kind of like, I felt like she was kind of like, I never can remember his name on the show, but Sarah's old boyfriend, like, he was like her monitor, and he was kind of in cahoots with Lita and everything, and I kind of was like, oh, Mrs. S is in the same league with him, but she really wasn't. Glenn says you're very annoyed as an Irish person because Siobhan was the only non-stereotypical Irish character on TV. Okay, so that sucks. Yeah, totally, because she was really cool too. Now we've lost that. But I mean, the thing is, we were going to lose her anyway, considering we just had 2 more episodes left. But I swear I've seen this woman on another show. I don't know if it's a show that's still on, but I think she does a lot. So I expect that this actress will do more stuff, like, after this show. Mr. Crazy says, you don't know, the episode was good, but it wasn't that good. They could easily made some promo for it. Okay, so he's talking about, that this episode wasn't as good as 507. Yeah, actually, I think 507 was better. Personally, I think you're right. Oh, so Porn Stash is from Orange is the New Black, and just a warning, I have not finished this latest season. I loved him on Orange is the New Black. You may not know what I'm talking about if you've never seen that show, but I haven't seen American God, so I don't know. I don't know if the guy who plays, I feel like he's American, but I don't know. Callie says, would I believe you if you told you that when you were young you found the Tales from the Crypt guy cute? Everyone likes different things. Everyone has different tastes. Personally, I thought he was kind of creepy, but he was almost kind of cartoonish, like not scary, but just kind of like creepy, right? Ralph says the Crypt Keeper, who is also the voice of Chucky. Interesting, did not know that. And gas station attendant in Urban Legends. Urban Legends is like from the 90s, right? I definitely have seen that. Lauren says, so technically Sarah and the clones lost their niece, foster mom, and Kira lost her cousin. Yes, that is true, sadly enough. If you follow like Tatiana on Twitter, she got some fan art that was really cool, and it had like everyone, like all the clones and like Kira sitting around Mrs. S. You know, it was like cartoonish though, but it was really, really cool. Okay, Mrs. S was on Downton Abbey. That's probably where I've seen her because I loved Downton Abbey and I've seen that entire series. And possibly she was in Taken. I've seen Taken, but it's been a while. Was there more than one Taken? Glenn says that Porn Stash plays an Irish character and the accent is horrific. Okay, I would not, I mean, I have major props to people who have to do accents on shows and movies and stuff because I'm sure I would butcher, you know, accents. So that's why I'm not an actress. But, you know, I guess if you're getting paid well to be an actor or an actress, you should probably get the accent right or get it close. I think Debbie's talking about the Tales from the Crypt Man is a leprechaun. Is he really? Is that who we're talking about? Callie says now the title Orphan is real because Mrs. S is dead. Poor Sarah. Yes, it is very sad. I mean, thankfully, the only like bright side to this, it's not really a bright side, but you know, she's an adult, Felix is an adult, and hopefully that I mean, I really don't want her to die because I do want her to be there for Kira. But at the same time, I could almost see Rachel being Kira's mom if something happens to Sarah. So we'll have to see what they do. Mr. Crazy has the whole series on DVD, Downton Abbey, and you love it. I loved it. I thought it was awesome, and it's really not a mystery or anything. There are some small mysteries in it. I mean, most of you guys have probably seen it or heard of it. It's over, but I do highly recommend it if you are looking for something to watch. There's many seasons, many episodes, but it's just really well done, great TV. Ralph says that Mrs. S is Liam Neeson's stunt double. That's so right. I knew she was just, I knew she kind of looks like him. I'm joking, but yeah, totally. That totally makes sense. That's funny. Glenn says you love how they called her S because they knew the American audience would be baffled by the name Siobhan. Hopefully I'm saying it right. Is the BH kind of like a V? I don't know. I'm probably saying it wrong. I'm sorry if I am. Ralph says the Crypt Keeper is a ghoul. Yeah, he kind of looked like a little skeleton man to me. Like a very, very, like someone that really needed some food, like ASAP. But anyway, just creepy. Did you tell me that that was coming back? Or maybe Porn Stash is a leprechaun? I don't know. Because I've never seen American Gods, so like, I have no idea. That's funny though. You know, it's funny because we have like 4 different conversations about what's going, or like 4 different shows being discussed in here. Debbie says Pablo Schreiber, who plays Porn Stash on Orange is the New Black, plays a 1,000-year-old leprechaun on American Gods, and that's why his Irish accent is exaggerated. Okay, now we finally got the leprechaun mystery figured out. Funny. I always thought that they were short little guys, right, though? Or is he shorter on this show? Because he's, like, pretty tall on Orange is the New Black. Orange is the New Black is really good. I've just kind of lost time or haven't had time to finish the latest season, but I do really much enjoy it. But that's probably not for everyone. But, yeah, I definitely... Oh, so heads up for the next 2 episodes. I probably am not going to be able to watch next week's episode. Well, I don't know. I'll try to find a way. I don't know if we can watch this online. I'm not going to be here again. I seriously doubt my hotel is going to have BBC America because it's kind of a random channel. Yes, I know this always happens. So if I can watch it online, possibly I can do that next weekend. But we will not be having a live chat on Monday because I don't get back till really late on Monday. So I'm sorry for that. And it also goes for Twin Peaks. But I am still going to watch Room 104 and should have a video up Friday night because I don't leave until Saturday. BBC app. Okay, so I will watch it, and I feel like I need to do something on it. I will see what I can do. I may be able to do a video and have it up for you next weekend, but not the reaction type, unfortunately, and no live chat. So I'm really sorry about that, and I hate it as well. But I just wanted to give you that heads up, and the heads up that we won't be having a live chat Monday. But if it's like completely crazy, which it definitely could be, we can do that on Tuesday. So I will just keep you updated. Again, if you have Twitter, that's just the best way for me to update you guys. So it's Kelly_TV. Follow me or bookmark it or check it or something. Like, try to check it Monday, even if you don't have Twitter, because I will be saying like what's up, like when we're having a live chat and everything. I think you can just look at people's tweets if you don't have Twitter, but I'm not sure. Laurent says he's the same height on American Gods and probably the funniest character. Glenn says, thank God Orphan Black is a Netflix original in Ireland, so there's no need to stress about channels. And I think it's really cool how you guys in other countries, how Netflix works, because it definitely doesn't work that way for us here. Well, for most things, like the whole series, the whole entire season, I guess, is released at one time. But for example, like the Chelsea Handler show, that shows up like weekly. So I guess that's kind of how that shows up for Orphan Black and other things. And so when I was in Europe, like a couple months ago, I tried to access shows that I watch here. Like, I wanted to see how it works for you guys, and it totally didn't work for me because I have an American registered account, so I cannot do anything with my Netflix. So unfortunately, I did not get to see like how you guys see it, which would have been cool. But it, it just kept showing up for me as, oh, like this is not a European account or whatever. So, but I think it's cool. And it's awesome, I guess, that you guys have Netflix, because I don't know what used to happen before there was Netflix. Like, how long did you have to wait to get an American show? Like, I'm just curious. Because, like, with Downton Abbey, I think it's super behind. Like, when it would premiere, like, I guess in England, and then when it would come here was, like, months and months later. Everyone knew, like, what was going on in England before we did. Yes, I'm up pretty late, and so are hopefully a lot of you guys. So, yeah. I mean, I don't know what you consider late. Like, 1 o'clock. That's usually when I go to bed. I guess that's kind of late, but if you're on the West Coast, then it's not late. And if you're in another country, who knows what time it is, because there's so many different time zones. Yeah, so, but I think that more stuff will go down, like crazy stuff will go down next week, as opposed to like warm and fuzzy stuff. There may be some of that, but I think they'll save a lot of that for the finale. That's what I'm thinking. But on the other hand, the finale could be completely insane as well. So I don't know. Glenn says you would have to wait 6 months to a year for a show to air after the US, which is terrible. And thank God for like Netflix and the internet and everything, right? I mean, oh my God, because just think about that. Like, if we still had that situation, but we had the internet and like YouTube, you guys would never be able to do anything like come to my chats or anything, because you would never have seen the episodes, on time. So Netflix is like such a great invention. Like, absolutely. Thank God for it. Oh, so there's a really silly, probably none of you want to watch this, but I may try to watch it. Back when like Laguna Beach and The Hills was on MTV, I was like really into those shows, and they are mindless and they have nothing to do with mysteries or horror. But they're bringing out a new one that's trying to be like those shows, and it's called Siesta Key, and it premieres tonight on MTV. And I don't know, I'll probably check it out. I probably will not do videos on it, but I just want to throw that out there for anyone who wants like a totally brainless show. If you enjoyed Laguna Beach and The Hills, it's supposed to be like that, but of course, brand new people who I think maybe like college age, 20s maybe, but I don't think they're like middle school, but they could be high school. I'm not really sure. Debbie says, how did you forget Maria Doyle Kennedy was on Dexter? She was the religious nanny. Okay, is she the one who plays Mrs. S? Because I don't remember her being on Dexter. And I usually remember people from Dexter because I see them all the time. Like the detective from How to Get Away with Murder, Nate, was like one of the main people in the police force on Dexter. So when I first saw him, I was like, oh my God, Dexter, But anyway, there's been like so many Dexter people doing other things. You guys know I have like, I do not remember her being on Dexter. I wonder was it way back in the day on Dexter? That's interesting. I have such a love-hate relationship with Dexter. Angel, yeah. Wait, I remember him. I haven't seen that guy lately, though. All of the American Horror Story teasers, no. Pretty sure I've missed some of them, but, like, I follow them on Twitter and Facebook, and I've seen some, like, really short snippets of something, but maybe there's longer ones. Like, I always see, like, their new tweets and their new Facebook posts, so I don't know. I probably need to look into that because maybe there's something I need to react to. Okay, another heads up. So I have a 5 p.m. Twin Peaks live chat today about last night's episode and a 6 p.m. Room 104 live chat about the first episode, which premiered Friday. That was weird. It was like lots of numbers. 104, 6 p.m. Anyway, Twin Peaks at 5, Room 104 at 6. Hopefully, if you guys watch both or either of those shows, you can make those live chats. And I have several ideas for some more movie trailer reactions that I've been getting from you guys in the comments. And I was trying to think what videos I have coming up. I'm trying to think. I feel like there was something else I was going to do. Oh, someone asked me to do a video on the promo for next week's Room 104, which has James Vanderbeek in it, which you may know from all kinds of things, but probably he's most well known for Dawson's Creek. So I will probably do that sometime this week. Glenn wants to see a teaser of Queen Billie Lourd. It's very cool for those of you who watch Scream Queens, which is gone. Billie is going to be in the latest season of American Horror Story, which is very cool for all of us. And cool for her because we know, or as you know, she had a very tough, I guess, end of last year. So it'll be good to see her again because we weren't going to see her again on Scream Queens because it doesn't exist anymore. So I haven't seen, you know, yeah, KELLIETV is in overtime today. I haven't seen, they're kind of weird about American Horror Story. Like, they do these teasers and they usually don't show like anyone who's actually in the show, or if they do, they're like in some kind of costume or face paint. You can't even tell who they are. But I remember like last year they did all of these promos and some of them I don't even think related to the show. Like after the show aired, like they didn't even make sense. So I think he just kind of likes to like mess with us. I think Ryan likes to mess with us sometimes with these like promos that don't mean anything. But I guess some of them do. Rip Scream Queens and rip Red Devil. Yes, R.I.P. And Debbie says that S played Sonia, Harrison's nanny, in about 6 or 8 episodes. Well, I definitely have seen her then, because I just did not make the connection. Season 5. Okay, yeah. Huh, that was a really good catch, because I don't remember that. Like, when I saw her face in Orphan Black, I never connected her to Dexter, but that's a good one. I didn't even know that. I'll have to, like, Google that and see what she looked like back then. Yeah, interesting. So, I expect some craziness in the next 2 episodes, definitely some deaths, and I think the jury is out on whether they'll kill really important characters and really popular characters. And I kind of feel like they won't, but I hope they prove me wrong because I think they should. Even though it's sad, I think they should. Thanks, Debbie. Yes. But thank you guys so much for being here today for this live chat. And stay tuned on Twitter next weekend for what I'm doing with the show next weekend and live chats, etc. Glenn says, so what are the chances of us getting a Gaga cameo this season? She's way too busy to have a big role, but would love to have her back. Well, in American Horror Story, she was like, I thought she was going to be a bigger character last season, and she really wasn't. I don't know what happened there. I don't know if she got busier, like, was supposed to be more stuff, but wasn't. I don't know. I haven't heard anything about her being in this season, but then she could just show up, and it could be, like, a secret, or she could just show up for just a little bit. So I think it would be very cool, but I don't know. I guess we could be surprised. But thank you guys for coming. I hope to see you guys come back for the Twin Peaks chat at 5 if you guys watch that, and then the Room 04 at 6. So hope you're having a great start to the week, and I will see you guys super, super soon. Bye.